Okay, and hopefully we are live. Possibly. Not Flame. Get off that screwdriver. God damn it. Dave. Forgot your name then, son. Good evening, everybody. Mike here at Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and also Dave the cat, and also Kath, Mrs. Mike's Unboxing.
Amazing, I noticed.
Amazing, I noticed. For all bystanding. So, yeah, hopefully you're having a fantastic Saturday, wherever you are, or Sunday morning, depending on your time zones. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Can't see the chat. Hayden says, I see cat. Good stuff. Doesn't seem to be anyone typing in the chat, so maybe you can't hear me. Even all, Rasher says, even all, 10 days of glorious sunshine ended today, raining and cloudy at 14C.
And we didn't have any white lines.
Andy Archer says, a tad echoey here. Have I forgotten to turn off one of the microphones here? Stream mic. No, that should be okay. Don't know why it's echoey. Not sure. Touchdown says you're early. I know. It was supposed to be. It was always supposed to be 8 o'clock, but then I always ended up finding myself getting delayed with some major catastrophe or other, or forgetting something, and yeah.
Responsibility for yourself, not blaming things.
I'm not blaming things. I'm taking responsibility. So I was always late. So I thought, well, I'll make it 15:15. And I set it for 15:15. I'm sat here scratching my ass, thinking, what shall I actually do? Combing my ass. What shall I do? So yeah. No echo here, just a little quiet. Have I got this turned up? Let me have a look at my microphone back. Oh, that's on 5, so can I turn that up? There, was that a bit better? That's on 6 now. We've cranked it all the way up to 6. Let's see if it makes any difference. It's very strange actually, because I use the same settings as I do for the camera normally, and it's pretty good generally, but anyway. We'll see. Charles Bowers is seeing you and hearing you fine. I forgot I got Charles's message up on the screen still. Let's get rid of that a minute. Excellent. Andy Archer says, okay, browser issues. Charles says, I bet it goes to 11. It doesn't. It goes to 6. Which is really disappointing, because I always wanted a mic pack that went to 11, but it doesn't, unfortunately. I might have to overclock it and see if I can get it up to 11.
Like your trousers.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Hayden says, was that the card you put into a build the other day? Yes, it is. I bought this off of eBay. It was a spectacular bargain. Most of you can tell it is a Radeon RX6750XT, the dual range from ASUS, and it is a factory overclocked edition, so it's got a little bit more tweaked power to it than you would otherwise normally get to the regular or vanilla 6750XT. And yeah, this I managed to source on eBay. Actually, thanks to Mortal, if he's in the chat. Don't think he is at the moment. We started a little bit early, so not everyone's in at the moment. But yeah, thanks to Mortal posting it on our Discord. And yeah, I managed to get it in the end, including postage, for £219, I believe it was. Somewhere around there. Whereas normally these would go for around about £250 if you're lucky, maybe £270, anything up to £300 for a 6750 XT. So I was very pleased with that. I was actually more surprised when it actually turned up, and I was even more surprised when I put it into a PC and it actually fired up and displayed an image. That was good. I thought everything was looking good at that point, up until I started running some benchmarks on another PC at 1080p, in which case, yeah, there's a little bit of coil whine to it. Now, it's not horrendous. It is audible. You can hear it. Like, Kath is sat probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet away from me at the moment. And I had it in an open PC setup, and she could hear it easily. Running, what was I running? Time Spy. So it was clearly audible. The fans were quite noisy as well, but that's to be expected. It is the dual fan version, so they do run a little bit on the hot side anyway. So I've done a little bit of research to see what the deal is with Coil Whine, and I've experienced it with graphics cards in the past to some extent or other, and in general, it doesn't bother me too much. Normally my PC is a little bit further away, or there's kind of a glass panel on, or whatever. But being that it was an open environment, it did seem very loud. So tonight's process really is going through and to see how we can actually remedy it. I've actually tried it on 2 PCs just to make sure that it wasn't a power supply or a motherboard problem or cabling, etc. Although to be fair, it did seem slightly less noisy on the second PC I tried, so possibly there might be something that in the motherboard side of things, maybe from PCI Express. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Could even be down to how tight it was screwed into the PC. I have no idea. But Coil Whine, for one. Hey Patrick, good to see you. It's one of those things with Coil Whine, most people probably won't care less or bother about it, but this is going into a PC which I've listed on Facebook Marketplace. I have in the listing put in there specifically that there is GPU whine. It has got Coil Whine, so like for some people it may bother you. For some people, if you wear headphones, then you're never going to hear it anyway. Or if your PC's under the desk or a little bit further away, it's never going to bother you at all. Basically, if you've got your game running and you've got the sound going on the game, you'll never hear it. But it's one of those things, whenever I'm selling a PC, I want people to know exactly what it is they're getting before they turn up to try it, to see what it's like. And if they sit down after traveling however many miles to get here, then they turn it on and start doing the Coil Whine thing. It's just not good. So I'm going to try and remedy it. I'm hoping it's where the thermal pads have dried out on the VRM, possibly. But we're going to take it apart, check it all over. I actually did reach out to the person on eBay and said, I don't know if you're aware or not, but it's got some like pretty bad GPU whine in my opinion. And he said that they basically didn't use it for very long, and when they did use it, they were playing with headphones on pretty much all the time, so they never noticed it. They said yes, it had some noise to it, but he basically said all my GPUs make the same noise. So I kind of know where you're coming from. It's not silent, and I'm one of those people. I'm really like PC case fans, power supplies, anything rotational. That sort of thing just really drives me nuts. And I know it drives other people nuts as well. So we're going to try and fix it with various methods, maybe thermal pads, repasting it, taking it apart. I am going to potentially try and put some additional pads in between the chokes. That can, in some instances, help. Also, might have the hot glue gun on standby to put some hot glue around the chokes to see if that helps at all. Failing that, I have heard, now this is possibly the least favourable one that I want to do, people have said that using a very runny superglue and actually putting a little bit of superglue around the base of the chokes actually seals off the air, and also the wicking process sometimes draws superglue into the caps, which again I'm not overly keen on, being I've just spent like 220 quid on this thing. I don't want to destroy it, but if there's something I can do with the thermal pads, or maybe just put some more pressure in certain areas, or maybe there is an area on the board where there is a choke which isn't attached to a pad, then maybe we can look at that and just put a little bit of pressure on it, try and even it out.
Just get Dave to keep...
Or just get Dave to keep on making noises so you can't hear it anyway.
Matthew Day says, is this a new regular time?
Not really, no. It was kind of like an accidental time.
And you were meant to be saying hello, you're not talking about what you're doing.
I was accidentally slightly ahead. Rasher says, give it a good dose of WD-40. I have got some contact cleaner, so I'm going to give it a liberal dose of contact cleaner as well. There's various things you can do which will help out in instances like that. So yeah, we'll see. Blue tack says 0 defects. Blue tack is definitely an option. We've got white tack. It's not a racist thing, it's just that's what we have on hand. Have we got blue tack actually, saying that? George has probably got blue tack, hasn't he? George used to have the massive blue tack ball. It's huge. At least I hope it is blue tack.
I think it's blue tack mixed with blue ball.
So let's say hello to some of you in the chat. So Rally's with us. How you doing, Rally? Also we've got Charles Ballard, who's on his Brave browser. I must admit, I do like using the Brave browser. I've been using it a couple of times recently. I still have Chrome installed, and I still have Edge installed, and I still am using Brave here and there. Brave is excellent. If you're watching things like live streams, for instance, like this, or any sort of long form content where there's generally going to be adverts and stuff in it, Brave's excellent for that. It really is. Very helpful indeed, and it prevents all of those annoying ad breaks, which I know I shouldn't say because they kind of pay our wages, but it is what it is. So if you feel like you don't want to be being bombarded with adverts, then yeah, give Brave a shout. I actually used it to watch, what did I watch the other day? Oh, I was listening to the Hardware Unboxed podcast as I was doing some filming and stuff on the desk, and it's a pain in the ass when you're doing that, and then all of a sudden YouTube throws in a couple of adverts, but just open it up in Brave and yeah, you're good to go. Just leave it alone. There's a super chat come in from Dave Aiken. Thank you very much. £2 there. Thank you, Dave. It says Mike's Greek summer skin is starting to come through. That's right. Yeah, it's been a love. It's been pretty glorious the last week, roughly, maybe slightly longer. I'm not sure. Was it last Sunday? Yeah, last Sunday was okay. It was a little bit chilly last Sunday. Cold breeze still, but it was sunny. And it's basically continued through the week. The last couple of days have been very nice indeed. Yesterday, spent some time out in the garden clearing up all the crap that's accumulated.
You worked like a little dog, didn't you? You worked so hard.
I did work hard in the garden yesterday, very hard. So yeah, it's all nice and clean, nice and well, not clean, but it's tidy-ish. Got rid of a load of old bits of wood and planters which have rotted, and taken all that apart, and yeah. Even raised some of the sleepers. You know what it is, you put sleepers in your garden to kind of segregate between areas, like your grass area and patio sort of stuff. I put in wooden sleepers about probably 3 years ago maybe. And one of them, because there's like 3 big sleepers going across this area, and the one on the left hand side, every time I look out the window I can see it, where it's just sloping down, where obviously the soil and stuff underneath it is giving way a little bit, because it was only on a soil base. And I keep on looking at it thinking, I'm going to sort it out one day. And yesterday was that day. So yeah, got it out, jacked it up, put some more soil underneath there, put it back in, and it's basically level. Not 100%, but it'll do. It's better than what it was. Anyway, evening to Glenn.
That's not Poppy. That's Poppy's offspring, Dave.
Well, I didn't get too far with that, did I? What else I didn't say?
Dave Rich says, hi Poppy.
Right.
It's not Poppy, it's Dave.
No, that's Dave there.
That's her baby.
That's her baby boy. How far did I get? So Rick H, good morning, good afternoon, and evening, boys and girls. Hope everyone had a good week. Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. It's been a little bit of frustrating week. I've been basically kind of scuppered by 2 companies with video reviews where, well, last week's or the week before stream about the MSI peripherals, the new peripherals, that has had another NDA extension, and they also asked me to take down the stream, the live stream, make it private until after the NDA, which now looks like it's going to go into May. That's just dragging on. That's been a nightmare. Thank you also to, use that with a super chat. Actually, I can look in there, can't I? Viewer activity, where are we? Mark Gaines, thank you Mark for your £10 donation. I had to do an RMA today on my Lianli HydroShift AIO. One of the fans stopped working. Sorry to hear that. Was it a connectivity issue? Was it still spinning but not lighting up, or was it just not doing anything at all? Very, that's disappointing, isn't it? When you spend a lot of money on some decent kit and it fails. It happens, I suppose. I don't think any manufacturer is necessarily immune from that sort of stuff. Anyway, Mick Woods is also in the chat. Says, hi all, you caught me out again. You're early, watching at 1.5 speed to catch up. I don't think you've missed anything. It's all good. Thanks for joining us. Who else we got with us? So, O'Reilly we've said, Charles Ballard, Viali. If I miss anyone out, I do apologise. I'm just scrolling through here. Hayden Trent's finishing off his pizza. Greasy fingers. We fancied a pizza earlier. We had some toast. That's what we've had today, a bit of toast. And Kath said earlier, I'm a bit hungry now. Could do have a pizza. So we'll just order one then. And she said, oh, I might do. Or something or other.
Still ordered one now?
Yeah, just order one now. She ended up nailing some custard creams instead, so. Dutch Jan's with us. Rasher, we said already. Andy Archer. Dutch Jan. Mark Gaines. Nick Barnes says all good here. Viali said, our Portier, how you doing? Hayden Trent, I think I've said. Rick Welly Bob says good evening. Konnichiwa. Bless me.
No, that's be less you.
Don't be less me. I could feel that brewing. It's supposed to be doing some cleaning recently, and there's a little pollen as well. And there's dust, and I've got some cat hairs up my nose, I think. Gosh darn it, cat hairs up the nose, never good. There is another super chat. You chaps are very generous tonight. David Underhill, $20 Aussie dollars, thank you. Substitute for non-usage of Amazon affiliate links for my new AM5 based PC. Yeah, David Underhill sent me some pictures on Messenger. His new PC is looking good. Nice little Micro ATX build. Very nice indeed. So yeah, nice one. And thank you for the donation. It's much appreciated. You don't have to do that, but never look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say. Where else we... Fluxor, Krish Patel says I have the same issue with the 6700 XT version, but not too loud. Nick Barnes question: what is Coil Whine? I thought you meant fans were noisy. Have I caught up with that? Did you hear what it was? The reasoning? I'll show you as we go through it. Basically, it's the chokes. So you on the motherboard of the graphics card, much like a PC one, you've got VRMs, voltage control regulations, you've got capacitors, chokes, inductors, resistors, all that kind of stuff. And it seems that the chokes seem to be, chokes used to always be like a ring, and then they had like a coil, metal coil, right, wrapped around it. Those were traditionally very noisy, depending on how many windings there were. Modern ones have obviously, they're much smaller. It's all been condensed, and they're encased in plastic or some sort of polymer, I think, generally. And because you've got these kind of coils inside of a capsule, basically, there's very tiny gaps in between the coil and the plastic sometimes. Excuse me. So what ends up happening is at very high frequencies of the graphics card, when it's either using a lot of power or it's high frames per second and it's just basically churning data, those little coils are oscillating inside of the little capsule, and it's the kind of the metal either rubbing against itself or the metal rubbing against the polymer or plastics, which creates that hum or that whine. So that is kind of basically how it works, I think. I'm no electrics expert, for sure. So yeah, take that as what it is. Matthew Day, I know we said that already. Is this new regular time? No. Well, hopefully not. It might even get later as the summer starts, hopefully. I'll try and get some sunshine during the day and then come in here when it's dark. Mike Rosenberg. Hello, Mike from Denmark. Say hey to the cat for me. Will do. Dave, Mike says hello. Very interested in all that.
Davey.
Dave says 2020 Tango look incoming. Matthew Day says I can't see anything silencing whine unless you can impregnate the noisy coils with varnish or superglue. I think, yeah, the pads, the thermal pads around the outsides of it might help dampen it a little bit. That is what I'm hoping. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be down to the super glue. I'm not keen on doing the super glue, to be honest, but it is pretty noisy, so we'll see. I'm going to build it up so you can hear it anyway. Is that Conyo? Conyo says I use uBlock for the ads. Good. 0 ads on Edge, says Viali. Size nice. Firefox plus uBlock Origin. Brave is dodgy AF. Why is Brave dodgy? I wish to know more. Dan Mars says I can't get used to Brave's interface. It is a jump. It is a jump. It's kind of like almost like going from Windows to a Mac. It is quite a change, especially if you're used to how Bing, Edge, or YouTube works. Can hear a flame scratching against the window. Jay Rich in the house. What else we say? Dan Marr says, what's with all the tech companies pushing back their reveals tariffs? I don't know. I've paid very, very little attention to it this week. The reveals. The thing is, most product reveals these days are useless, aren't they? They're junk. They're just super expensive with marginal gains on the previous stuff, and it's just really boring. I much prefer the kind of the used stuff or older tech where you can pick up some bargains and actually get some value. Value for money. Remember that? I used to be a real proponent for that. It's getting harder and harder to do that these days. It was screeching and stopping and starting, says Mark. Interesting. David Underhill says, inductors act like small speakers when certain frequencies and waveforms. Frequency harmonics. Yeah, so you never know. A repasting and a little bit of a disassembly and reassembly might help if any of those problem items are actually attached to thermal pads. At least if at best it could dampen it down a little bit. That's what I'm hoping.
Russia won on eBay yesterday a 30-year-old Gateway 2000.
Wow.
575.
Nice win there, Russia. Gamer Roars in the house. Ordinary Dude, how you doing, Ordinary Dude? Dave says epoxy stroke hot melt can help with the vibrations. I'm hoping, yeah, I think the hot melt thing is more with like maybe power supplies, because they generally tend to use larger chokes and inductors and capacitors and stuff like that, the things which tend to make the noise. So smearing those with wind smear or hot melt or something is quite a good idea. My problem is with hot melt that I don't know whether the glue I've got is actually low melt or low temp, in which case it's probably not going to be great, but we'll see. David consists or non-conductive potting compound. I've used it at work. Okay. I might have to look into that as well then. Ashley Strachan's in the house. How you doing? Rasher's got his 30-year-old Gateway 2000 P575 megahertz. Nice. Nostalgic purchases are great. They really are. Ordinary Dude says I'm getting a Mac. I'll be honest, the more and more I'm thinking about it, I would like a MacBook M4 Air. Because they're actually not horrible prices unless you want to upgrade the RAM or storage, in which case it becomes absolutely obscene. And I don't really want to give Apple my money for a computer because of the memory upgrades and the storage upgrades, which I think are absolutely despicable. But I guess it kind of is what it is somewhat of a captive market. But yeah, I do like the idea of M4 Mac. Sinister Chef's in the house. How you doing, Sinister Chef?
What is Sloppy Joe's?
What is Sloppy Joe's? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Someone explain what Sloppy Joe's are. Sounds like something I'd have after I'd gone out and had too much beer. Got some Sloppy Joe's. Viali says stop swearing, Mike. Dave says I would never buy a Mac. I do like, well, I like some aspects of Mac OS. The reality is Windows is the far superior operating system by a country mile. You've only got to use things like Finder on a Mac, or if you're someone who actually is like somewhat of even a reasonable power user, Windows is far superior for file management, for even analyzing files. Like a typical thing for, it's a bizarre thing that a lot of video editors, Dave, not the butthole, a lot of video editors use Macs. But if you get a file in Finder, like which is the Explorer version on Mac, you get a file, you cannot find out any of the properties about it. It's basically useless. Whereas with Windows, you right click, properties, about, whatever, you can see the frame rate, you can see the bit rates, you can see it all. You can see Dave's head.
There, stop
Right,
scratching.
Dave, can we move this box over a little bit?
Mind a drink. That down.
Jeez.
Sloppy Joes are meat with sauce slapped on a bun.
All right, okay. Dutch Jan says I dislike Apple. I'll be honest, I don't like a lot of the things, or some of the things they do, they could do much better. Apple is not the same Apple that it used to be a long, long time ago, where they actually innovated. Although, having said that, I do like using my iPhone, my old iPhone XR. This is like kind of the refresh of the 10. And I've had this now for, what, it must be 6 years? 6 years? 7 years?
I think we got them 2018, didn't we?
Yeah. So yeah, 2018 I think we got these. I got one, I bought Kath's one for Christmas.
In September and I had
Yeah.
in November.
I bought mine not long after they come out in September. And yeah, I've had it for 7 years. So I think I paid 500 and something or 600.
Oh, I don't know, because you had your watch at the same time.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I bought the Apple Watch 3 and I bought that at the same time. I think I paid about £800 for the lot.
But 2 months later, when you bought mine, it was like 250.
Yeah,
But
that's ridiculous.
you had to have 2 months contract with it or something, didn't you?
yeah.
Um,
But that I feel has been a good buy, because I used to just buy cheap Android phones or cheap-ish Android phones, which were like £100, £150, and they started increasing to like £200 a go, and they would last maybe a year, year and a half, if that. If they lasted any longer, the software support ended very quickly. So I do quite like using the iPhone. I think it's actually a very nice interface. It works very well, and yeah, it's kind of, it is what it is. I do like using it. I find Android to be a little bit too open, especially for like security and stuff like that. Yeah, they scare me. Although, having said that, I am tempted to get a Pixel 9a. They've just come out, which is kind of similar-ish sort of price, but we'll see. And they're supposed to have 7 years security and software updates, so might work out. Anyway, right. I think, yeah, I think we're good. I think we're pretty much there. Said hello to everybody, I think, mostly. Patrick LaBelle says, I played with a Mac a few years ago when Hackintosh was a thing. Yeah, I did as well. I hated it. But Windows is like a good, comfortable jeans. Mac is like a tight cloth. It fits, but you can barely move into it. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's so many things that Mac does weirdly, like having the traffic light buttons to minimize, maximize, or whatever. Even if you click on the red one, like what would be the X in Windows, you still have to go down to the taskbar to close the program. So you've basically got 2 minimize buttons effectively. It's just a very weird setup. It looks quite slick. And also stupid things like the mouse. So if you're using a MacBook, for instance, which people will, it's quite likely you're going to plug in a mouse, because not everyone likes using a trackpad. If you plug in a mouse, if you want to set it so that your mouse scrolls like a normal human being would, like computers have for the last 50 years, well, 40 years probably for scrolling, but if you want to have a mouse which scrolls normally, it also converts your trackpad. Because by default on a Mac, you get what they call natural touch scrolling. So if you move your finger upwards, it would naturally go upwards. Or it's backwards from what Windows does. But if you change the setting, it's a global setting. So you might want to have your trackpad as it is, but use your mouse differently, which most people do. But you can't do it in a Mac. It's just bizarre. Stupid things they do. It's just a shame. Anyway, let's move on, because I've got to get a little test bed rigged up so we can actually start going through this. Hence why I started a little bit earlier, but I don't think I've actually saved any time at all.
You're not helping Grumpy?
So I will be keeping an eye on the chat, but I'm going to try and get this done. So going to be using our little test bench setup here, which was kindly sent in to us by Arali. Thank you, Arali.
And Andy, wasn't it?
And Andy Archer, I believe it was as well. Yeah, it was a joint thing, wasn't it, I think? So I have got my motherboard back from Dave and also from Adamant IT. So this is the repaired board that he did on his stream. So I thought, well, that's a perfect opportunity to actually see if it does definitely work and see if we can figure out what is going on with our graphics card here. So we do like a nice little open test bench. I think an open test bench actually makes more sense in this instance because we are trying to analyze noise, or at least demonstrate what the noise is like. I don't think it's always quite as good to do in a normal case as such. Rick says, I bought that after your review. Cool. I'll be honest with you, I don't use it as much as I should do. But that's on me. Right, yes, the famous Tough Gaming X570 Plus, which has been repaired by the one and only Adamant IT, or Graham as is otherwise known. And I realised actually after, I thought when it came back that it was missing the IO shield, but then I watched back to the original stream when I got this, and yeah, it didn't have an IO shield then either. So I was about to cuss him, like, oh bastard, where's my IO shield?
But you did.
I did cuss him up as well, but I probably did. I'm horrible. Let's get that lined up. And that's clicked into place nicely. Get some screws in there.
Turned the internals of the in-win Alice. I turned the internals of the in-win Alice I got from Mike into my main bench works treat.
Ah. Yeah, the in-win Alice. I remember that. Wow.
Time to 3D print one.
Yes, funnily enough, I have got a 3D printer, and I have actually found that there is an STL file for the IO shield. So I'm definitely going to be 3D printing a new IO shield for this. And actually, it works out quite nicely because this motherboard has got a very eclectic bunch of colours on it. So you've got greys, you've got blacks, you've got yellows, you've got silvers, and all sorts. So I think having a 3D printed black plastic IO shield actually isn't going to look too out of place. I would have probably preferred to have like a grey colour that this section is as well, but that colour will show up all the little tiny marks in the printing, so I think it'd be fine just black plastic. Mike, don't spill any tea on it after Graham did all that hard work on it. I know. That would be awful, wouldn't it? I'll try not to. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll try.
Don't make him laugh when he's doing guineas.
Actually, just put this on the overhead so you can see what I'm actually doing. And also, you don't have to look at my ugly mug. Zero Defect says, never thought about printing IO shield before. Very interesting. Oh yeah, there's tons of them online. If you ever lose an IO shield, it's almost one of the easiest things in the world to find, and also it's quite quick to print as well. So if you just want to do a few test prints to see what your printer settings are able to actually do, yeah, it's a pretty good idea. Right, motherboard is pretty much in place, so I'm happy with that. Processor wise, an interesting one. This is the AliExpress 5700X3D, which I've never checked to see if it actually even works. So I'm not even sure if I want to try it on this or not, because I might just end up giving myself a world of hurt. Although I'm pretty sure this is on the very latest BIOS anyway, so I'll try it, see what happens. If it doesn't work, I will be a little bit upset, I'll be honest. Actually, have I used this before? There's a bit of thermal paste on the side. Maybe I have used it. If I did use it, I don't remember what I used it in. Okay, so what should we do next? Let's stick some RAM in. So for the RAM, I'm going to be using some of this Kimtego Z3 Battle RAM, 32 gigs of DDR3600, which I don't think that is, well, it might be compatible. We'll see. I got this ages ago from Kimtego. I did a review on it, but it was one of those things that it was almost impossible to find anywhere. And people really like the look of the RAM, and I was getting loads of really nice comments. People saying, "Oh, where is that from?" And yeah, it's good stuff. I actually did use it.
What the hell is that RAM log?
Yeah, and also it's color coded for the RAM slots. Silver goes into silver slots. So yeah, at the time when I got this, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM was like baller. Nobody had 32 gigabytes of RAM. And most people still don't, to be fair. Yeah, I think that goes quite well.
Patrick
Happy with that.
LaBelle bought a few CPUs from AliExpress and all of them work perfectly.
I'm hoping the same is repeated here, because I've bought a few, and this is the only one that I don't think I've actually tested. What do we want next? We want a CPU cooler, I think. That'll be a good idea. So we're going to be going with the Noctua, the Noctua NHU12S, which I've had here for donkey's years. I never use it really, so I figured this would be a nice one just to get it installed. And it's got the good old brown fan, which I absolutely hate. Actually, this is taking me back, because this spec now, with the Noctua cooler and this motherboard and this cooler, is basically what my old video editing system was. This is the makings of my old video editing rig. So yeah, it'd be quite nice to visit it, a bit of a blast from the past. Now I have to try and remember what brackets go on this. Is that the ones? AM4, AMD, it says AMB, but close enough. Oh yeah, because the Intel ones are already in there, aren't they? So that's fine. Now there was a bit of a trick I learnt with these many moons back when you're undoing it, because they have a tendency for the backplate to fall off, don't they? And let's get the screws out there, because I think you have to use your own screws as well, don't you? Yes, you do. Sorry, I'm whittling away to myself here. So if you do undo one side and take off the bracket in its entirety, you've still got the two screws holding the back plate on, so it ain't going to fall off. Or at least it shouldn't fall off. So then what you can do is put on your two spacers and grab your brackets. I can never remember which this is. I think AM4 is the longer one, isn't it? Yeah, 4. Actually, yeah, 4 is the narrower one. Cool. Remember this when we used to have to figure out AM3 and AM4. So I can get that started. So get my screwdriver. And you can basically do it up, just have it tight enough so that the back plate doesn't fall off when you undo these two last screws, which I know we've been spoilt with recently with AM5, being it is a much nicer socket design. Chris Fox, is that a... No, it's a 5700X3D. It's better, cooler running alternative. The 5800X3D, I'm so glad I never bought one of those. Anyone who's got one, no disrespect. If you like it, great, fantastic. I'm very happy for you. But almost everybody I've ever heard from universally said that the 5800X3D was just ridiculously hot and very difficult to keep cool. Much like the original 5800 non-X3D was. But the 5700 just, yeah, in that nice little sweet spot. Right, so now that hasn't fallen out, so we can put on our little spacers there. And it's nice, this is all color coded, so grey spacers as well. Although the brackets are a little bit on the chrome side, sadly. 23.7 degrees Celsius currently here in the Mike's Unboxing studio. And the relative humidity is currently at 49%, so it's pretty comfortable right now. Let us know what the temperature is in your neck of the woods in the chat. And also the relative humidity as well. Always interested to hear. Temperature doesn't mean a lot without the humidity. Hey Skystalker, how you doing?
He said, did he miss much? Did you start early?
I did start a little bit early, yeah.
But
you haven't missed much. Aletta says, I love my 5900X. Yeah, that was the one I should have got, really, at some point, but I never got around to doing that. Right, want some cooling fluid. So what have I got to hand? I've got some MX4. Actually, this isn't going to be used much, is it? So, let's see. Glenn says it's 17C outside on the west coast of Scotland. Very nice. 17's a respectable score. Score. Respectable figure. Oh, God. Where's my bloody thermal paste? Come here.
Greg 17 here, 44%.
Nice.
Stalker 19, 75%.
Wow. I got too much shit in there.
You what?
I got too much shit in there. There's a little thing of thermal goop from Enermax. Not sure what this is like. Oh dear. That is
Chris Fox is raining all day.
oh dear.
Charles Ballard 63F with 39%.
63 Fahrenheit, what's that, about 21 degrees? I'm not very good at the conversions, I'm afraid.
Admar 16 straight 32%.
16 in Joliet, Illinois.
Was 19 in Cramlington, Northumberland, the alley.
Yeah. Got a pretty good range of temperatures there. Dutch Jan says, Germany, too cold, but I'm always cold.
Gary 16 degrees and 31% in Illinois.
I've always wanted to go to Illinois. Ever since watching the Blues Brothers. I'm guessing it's not much like the film. Well, at least not now, anyway, because it was done in the 70s.
It's all gone downhill since the 70s.
If this actually works, I'll be somewhat amazed. Although all of this just to test out a bloody graphics card. Ah, where the Blues Brothers were detained. Well, fictionally. Or no, did he say they spent some time in Joliet? Or been doing time in Joliet? Somewhat along those lines. Blues Brothers, first SNL skit that turned into a movie. Yeah, there's been a few that have gone that way. Now, have I got a SATA cable? I bet I haven't. Oh. Poppy! Dora, you're not allowed up there. Nope, I didn't put a SATA in there. Dang. Right, what motherboards have I got here I can steal a SATA cable from? Motherboards don't often come with SATA cables these days, or if they do, they don't come with many. Let's see if I got one in my Edge Wi-Fi box.
So you can buy a different one and get another van to deliver it.
Yeah, I'll order another motherboard because I need some new SATA cables. That's the way we roll. Excellent. There's a pair in there.
what had the coil whine?
The GPU. Yeah, the GPU is the problematic.
Read your question. It goes on a little bit.
Was that skies? So what was the coil whine? I had to solve a coil whine on my 79. Actually cost me going through 2 mid-end PSU, high-end PSUs. Well, I've actually tried it on a couple of different power supplies. I've actually put the graphics card, this one here, I've put it into 2 different computers, one of which has a Thermaltake GF3 850 watt, gold rated, and the other one had, what did the other one have? The other one had a gigabyte, no, the other one had, that was another Thermaltake power supply actually, which should be, in theory, absolutely fine.
Mark Gaines, it's 14 degrees and 89% humidity in Northern Ireland.
Wow. Oh, damn it, I've got my SATA cable stuck. What's the bets I can't actually physically, I can't plug it in now, can I?
Portier, it's a warm day here today, 25 degrees. It is now still 20 degrees in Tilburg, Holland.
Very nice. I don't think I'm going to get that to stay in there. Oh, that is... Oh, hang on. What am I doing? There's SATA ports on the bottom. I forgot it's not that modern a motherboard, so we don't... It's got ports everywhere. I've got to just plug it in the bottom.
SATA cable.
SATA. So, actually that'd probably work out better because the drive's going to be kind of down here somewhere. So, can I run that up through there?
12 degrees and 77%. And tomorrow rain with highs of 11.
Some interesting weather going on there, ladies and gents. Trouble is, we are, as a country, or as a nation, the English are very much dictated to by the weather. Because, basically the weather is normally crap. So you have to kind of plan things a little bit. I suppose actually while I'm here, I might as well plug in the power jumper cable, which, oh, I forgot it's one of those horrible ASUS boards.
Got a bit more.
Alright, hang on. There's our power cable, bit of dust on there, don't worry about the dust, it's fine. So what did he do? Skystalker said I ended up going with a Be Quiet Platinum 80 Plus and Cybernetics Platinum rated 1000 watt power supply. That solved it for the most part. Now I only hear it under slightly under full load. Well, we're going to try this and see actually how noisy it is. We may end up actually going down that route and just basically changing out the power supply. But we'll see. Actually, I don't really want to put that on that, do I? Oh, that's fine. It'll be fine. Right, I need some little screws. Where's my little screw bag? I had a little screw bag up here. Can anyone see my little screw bag on the desk?
Has anyone seen my little chamois bag?
Has anybody seen my chamois bag? There we go.
Up on the desk, down there.
Up on the desk, basically on the floor. Sorry, I really should have done all of this before the stream, but I was doing other things, other matters that needed attending, and setting up the stream and, you know, life. One, two, three. I'm going to use all 4 screws for putting in the SATA drive. Isn't that special? Because I think I'm actually going to leave this drive in here as my test bench. I haven't had a test bench properly for ages. I think this will work out quite nicely. Weather forecast in chat, says Game World. Yeah, exactly. Scorchio. Yeah, Ohio sounds very much like our weather. Because Bristol is very much on the coast, our weather is very, well, it's only 20 miles from the coast.
Yeah, but it's not really a coast, is it?
Well,
you make it sound like seaside.
Yeah, we are, Bristol is in the kind of the Bristol Channel in the estuary. So we get all the weather kind of filtering up through, and it follows along some of the Welsh valleys and gets funneled around. So,
But we don't have no coast that you could go to.
but our weather is quite changeable, let's say. Oh, actually, might as well plug that in while we're here.
Are you talking about Severn Beach or Westwood?
Neither, I suppose, really. They're all much of a muchness. Same.
Mud and sand. Mud and pebbles.
There we go. We have a drive attached at the very least. Okay. Well, I think next we should get the fan installed, because it ain't gonna last very long without a fan. Well, it might.
Yeah, squid.
Damp squib weather. It's not. Yeah, our weather is generally rubbish. Our weather is the Noctua of weather. Extremely overrated. I am so against Noctua, it's untrue. I really dislike Noctua. Probably unhealthily so. And I don't know why. It's got no rationale to it, other than the fact that it's just massively overpriced. I need my torch. Which one of these is a CPU? So CPU fan is...
Yeah, I said you could apply an undervolt to the GPU and your trousers and see if the wine goes away.
I was considering that, and I have attempted a very basic undervolt in the software, and it didn't help a lot. Not as much as I'd have liked it to. And because the PC is going to be sold with the graphics card in it, I didn't want it to be one of those things where I fudged the software just to be able to sell it, if that makes sense. Hayden Trent says, never own their products, not sure why would I buy their cooler if I can get a Thermalright one for 20 quid and it looks better. Yeah, the only thing you find with with Noctua stuff is it is very well made and the fans are exceptionally quiet. The performance is arguable, but in general, the product itself, I can understand why people do buy it. It is very, very well made. Very, very well made. It just seems very expensive though for what it is. Right, I think we're pretty much getting there now, so I'm going to pack some of this crap away. And then we'll get the power supply out, and then we'll get this thing fired up. And see how good or bad it does. And I honestly don't know. I think there's a Windows installation on the drive that I've got. If not, I might have to install Windows, which is going to be a real pain. Unless anybody knows of a DOS-based program that I can run, which will test a GPU. I don't think that's even possible. I think I've just said something which doesn't exist, but if it does exist, please educate me in the chat. Wayne Taylor, is it possible to replace coils chokes to be more tightly wound, better built, but it's not easy to do, better off using dampening pads with lower vibrations? Yeah, I think you're right. You can potentially change out the chokes, and to be honest with you, I think changing the chokes would probably be not too bad a job to do in terms of soldering, because I can't imagine it being much different than just doing a capacitor. But having said that, I wouldn't really fancy it on a moderately expensive graphics card. I wouldn't mind if I had like an old thing which was basically worthless to give it a go just to see if it was possible. Right, let's get our power supply out, or in, or whatever. Unfortunately, the power supply has got the longest cables in the world, so it's not going to look overly pretty, but that isn't really what this is about. Oh, actually, let's unplug those. There we go. So we've got a Corsair RM650. Corsair power supply is pretty decent. And also, if need be, I can always unplug and do something different. Yes, Cal? Fire phone. Mike, best CPU cooler under £15. Thermaltake Assassin. Yeah, probably the Thermal Right. Actually, I don't know. Maybe the AXP. No, what is it? I can't think what it is. I bought one recently and I did a review on it. Like best cheap cooler. I can't think which one it was now though. But it was good. It was cheap. Oh, it was the Deep Cool. The AG400. Yeah, well done, Kath.
Very good.
Impressed with that. Yeah, the AG400 was awesome.
A bit of foreplay for you.
Kath will put a link in the video chat. Probably.
And then underneath Hayden Trent.
Hayden Trent, where are we saying? You still have that GTX 130 over there? Yes, I do. I'm not practicing on that. That thing still owes me 100 quid. I've got a, I think I've got somewhere here, an old GT 600 series somewhere. I need to look into it. I'm sure it's about somewhere. God damn it. Right, let's undo the spacer doodah. Oh, it's not a slidey one, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, no. Oh, typical. It didn't slide far enough. Git. Right. This, oh, I hate to do this, but still.
So, Rui, my 7900 XT, oh no, I don't think it was a question actually. I've just started with Coil Whine, pretty annoying. High pitch even with headphones on.
Coil Whine is evil.
Question, sorry.
Oh, come on, you bastard. There you go. Last man standing. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice.
Can you still get Deep Cool products in UK?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did we get it?
I got it from AliExpress. AliExpress UK.
Links are in the description of that video anyway.
Oh, great! I bent that now. Right, I'm not changing it. It stays this way. And I just realised actually I should have put the cable in for the 12 volt high power. Not 12 volt high power, the CPU. PSU, PCIe. PSU, oh, EPS, that's the one I want. That's the Badger.
And what's it in now?
It is 23 point, it's exactly the same. Absolutely identical.
I must be heating, they've gone really warm.
This needs a little bit of TLC.
Cool still sold in Aussie land as well. You can get Deep Cool in Canada, I think.
Oh, what have we done here?
Fire phone in Florida also. Let's get if he's American there.
Yeah, if you're in America, you're probably going to struggle to get hold of Deep Cool stuff because of the the goings on, let's say, without putting too fine a point on it. Probably because of the thing which has been going on, which doesn't get talked about at all now. Does it? When was the last time you heard it in the news? Or even anyone mention it?
I don't listen to the news, so
Oh,
never.
yeah, exactly.
I haven't listened to the news since like 2017.
Oh, where's the torch gone?
Not even before that. When I work at Casualty, because I'd already said to them I don't look at the news. 2015, I expect I gave up the news.
Kath gave up the news. It was like an addiction.
Yeah, exactly. It took me too long to get out of bed every morning reading that rubbish. And it's also depressing. It's so much nicer to not look at it everywhere.
Right, this is going to require some cable management one day, but that ain't today. Yeah, I think I've definitely chosen the wrong power supply for this.
Fire thing, Mike, I hear you, friend with Banksy.
Okay. Friend with Banksy. You lost me there. I hear you friend with Banksy. No, I'm not friends with Banksy. I know I've met Banksy. But then there's quite a lot of people in Bristol who have. He's not quite as elusive as they make out. His wife's an MP. Or she's in the council or something like that. She's basically something like that anyway.
Would have to be, wouldn't you? Because who would
Yeah.
let you graffiti on your house and all that and be proud of it?
Yes, no, yeah.
Unless it's like an inside thing anyway.
Right, PSU. 2 more of those. This is going to look awful.
Looking for a good magnetic. Matthew Andrew, looking for a good magnetic screw set. What's yours?
Mine is awful. Mine's from Inco or something. Inco. It was just on Amazon.
I'm not, and I don't like it.
It's very cheap. Breaking news. Kath is Banksy.
I can't
No,
stand him.
Kath's got talent. I honestly don't like Banksy's work at all.
Although to be honest, I'm more autistic than artistic.
Yeah. We are a little bit, aren't we?
I think everyone is a little bit.
Okay, right, I think we're almost there. So let's put this here, I think. And we'll put in the graphics card next. ASUS. Hey, actually ASUS is matching. I just realised. That's a convenience, isn't it? I've got to be really careful with this because I don't want to scratch the motherboard like apparently it was already.
Did you answer what's your magnetic screwdriver set?
Yes. Well, sort of, yeah. Oh, great.
What was the make, did you say?
Yeah, I don't know. Right. It would appear that this side bracket actually is preventing the GPU from being inserted, so I've got to remove the side bracket.
I thought Banksy was one of the guys that have Massive Attack.
He used to hang around with them, I think.
He was Tricky's Disco.
Tricky Disco, go on, remember that? Tricky Disco. Hayden says, I still have my Mike's Unboxing screwdriver and pen from the COVID times. That sounds like out of, oh God, what was the film with, oh God, the guy from Dumb and Dumber, what's his name? Jim Carrey.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, he was in the film called The Cable Guy, years and years ago. And they went.
That was VHS, didn't you?
They did. Yeah, they went to
My mum bought it.
they went to a place called Medieval Times on like a date type thing, and Yeah, it was, well, it's just funny shit. And when you said that then, it reminds me of medieval times. I don't know why.
Why do I not like Banksy?
I don't think,
I think
well,
it's put
some
there for a
people do.
reason.
Yeah, Banksy is just, I don't know. Well, he's a typical, like, person who's got way too much money, college educated, and just trying to be a bit gangster or be a bit street, using a stencil. A lot of graffiti artists don't like Banksy for the fact that he basically turns up with a stencil and just spray paints. Whereas graffiti artists will take months, hours, days to actually create a piece that he'll just turn up and
I don't know, I
do
don't
it and then
like
walk
to be
away.
honest, I just don't, I never have. That white cable is setting off Wally Bob's OCD.
It's setting off mine. What is that not fit on there?
Hayden Trent, Cable Guy, what a film. He loved that medieval food place.
Yeah. We actually ended up going to a medieval food place, me and Kath. Our company took us out for a Christmas do, and we went to like this medieval times type restaurant, and it was
Restaurant is a castle. Wasn't
castle
it?
or
It's
something.
freezing,
It was
wasn't
freezing cold and it was shit, and he didn't have knives and forks.
They had a knife. They had that knife thing.
We had a communal fork or something, didn't we? Some bullshit like that.
Was it fork or something?
I don't know. It's just awful. Never ever.
Fork.
Yeah.
I wasn't meant to go, but you said you wouldn't go without me, so they let me go.
Yeah.
Last minute.
I'm not going when Kath can go because I'm not getting tortured on my own. If anyone's going to get tortured, we're both going. Oh. Yeah, that was.
What was it? It's by Nelsy, wasn't it?
Was it like something to do with Cadbury Castle or something?
It might have been.
I honestly can't remember.
Because I didn't drive or anything. We went in that.
Did we go in Glyn's Spas? Yeah. We went in the Renault Spas. The fastest Renault. Made of fiberglass. Oh dear. The old days. Oh, this is OCD in me to pieces. Right, you can go in there then, if you're going to be faffing around.
Forks, fingers were invented first. Yeah, probably. I think we did have like this piece of metal in a wooden handle, wasn't it? Like a triangle shape, which was meant to be the knife.
Oh, I
What
don't.
did we actually even eat there?
It was just some like,
All stuff, didn't we?
had some like chicken.
It was chicken, was it?
That was
Chicken legs.
chicken legs or chicken drumsticks or something like that. It was just, yeah, it was just
And
nonsense.
then they
Wasn't it?
had that gruel stuff, didn't they? What was that like? Was that
I can't
like
remember.
some nasty soup thing?
Yeah, some like, yeah, oh, I don't know. And to think that people actually paid to go and eat that junk, I was not best pleased. It's like, just take, on the way home, it's like, should we go to the chippy? I think we did, didn't we?
Probably. We were pretty greedy back then, weren't we?
Yeah, Cable Guy is an awesome film.
Is this going into your Montec case?
This, no, might do. Could do. I have got one of the Montec cases left over, so yeah, potentially it could do.
Mike, they didn't have 5-star restaurants in the Middle Ages.
I don't care. Not even a 1-star. It was hideous, wasn't it? It was absolute terrible. No, never again.
You didn't think they'd let me go, did you? They thought you could get out of it.
Yeah. I used the excuse of like, I'm not going if I can't take the missus. And they're like, okay then. It's like, oh, bastards. I don't want to go.
All these years later. How long ago was that? Good break.
We must have been 19, 20. Maybe less. I don't know. Medieval times. See, I think if we went now as adults, we'd probably enjoy it.
I don't think we would. It was horrendous.
Yeah, we wouldn't actually. No, I'm
It's like
I'm lying to myself.
It's one of those ones where you just cringe and hide behind somebody so they don't spot you to shout at you.
Yeah, if someone you know's there and they like wave out to you there and you've got all this grease and crap all around your face because you've got no fork or knife.
You had a knife.
And you're drinking this witch piss from a weird cup.
Mead from it.
Yeah, it might have been mead. I don't know. Anyway. Right, let's see if this actually works. Where's the power button? I forget. I think it's over on this side.
Thing.
There we go. Right. Weirdly, the graphics card fans aren't spinning. Which I'm taking that as a bad sign. Oh, actually, would help if I plugged in the monitor into the appropriate output, wouldn't it?
Oh, you two are kindergarten sweethearts, Mike.
I can see some lights.
We did go to school together.
We did. Nothing seems to be happening. Oh, we have something.
Wow, your screen went black when you flipped that switch. You haven't been watching our channel very long.
It's a frequent occurrence. Oh, is that just turned off? I thought it was actually getting a display, but it's not. It just died. Right, where is my... Right, well apparently that should be... What's the yellow LED mean on the side? I'm pretty sure that means boot.
Bang!
Oh, you idiot.
Restart. Don't know if that's the answer.
Oh, I've just pressed the button. I think I've got to press and hold that for it to click off. There we go. Right, try again. Yeah, weirdly, the fans aren't spinning on the GPU, but they should be.
Okay, Pops.
Power supply span a little while.
Where's Dave when you need him?
Yeah, come on, Dave.
Pop is there. She might be able to help. Pips.
Doesn't seem to be much going on.
Shall we look at it?
Yeah. This is my fixed motherboard. Let's see what's... I can't see the LEDs on that side. Right, there is an LED... There's a yellow LED there, so I don't know what that means. I think the yellow one...
Buffering.
Sorry about the buffering. Let's see what that says.
That spark near the RAM socket might be the cause.
Right, boot, VGA, right, yeah, DRAM LED is on. So, balls. I don't think I've got any other, the only other DRAM I've got, I think, is like ridiculously high speed. So, let's try and reset the CMOS. Not sure. I couldn't see it from that angle. I'm going to lean this down a minute.
FSD power.
So I want to see if that RAM light comes on straight away. Where's the button gone now? No, so it's like... Right, the DRAM light is down there. So does it come on straight away? Yeah, it goes straight onto DRAM. So... let's turn that off. See?
Not to put you off or anything, don't read it out loud, but a letter.
Right, so that stick of RAM didn't like it, or there's something in the slot. And we should, from that, have takeoff. There we go, tough gaming. We're in. Woohoo! And what is the motherboard saying?
Lick the RAM.
New CPU installed, press F1 to enter setup. Well, I would struggle to do that because I don't actually have a keyboard and mouse plugged in. So let me go and get a keyboard and mouse, and we will plug said item in. I told you I wasn't particularly well prepared for this. And for anyone who's actually watched this stream at any point in their lives, will know that that is normally the case. Despite the fact of me spending hours trying to set it up.
Hello, Otis.
Hello, Otis. How you doing? I'm coming in that way. You can't run away from me. It's alright, mate. Don't be scared. It's okay. Keyboard and mouse. My carpet slipped now. Bloody hell. Right, Poppy? What's going on? I shouldn't run so fast. My bloody polyester trousers are generating sparks. Nick Woods come in with a 1999. We have liftoff. Well, we're part of the way there. We're not entirely there, but we're getting closer.
You just got to start singing Neo now. No, what's it? Nero.
I just tried to use the mouse on the wrong thing. That's not one, isn't it? Let's give you a heart there and a like. Thank you very much. And Susan Robbins is in the house. How you doing, Susan? Why touch a... Yeah, this is a touch LED one, but it still hasn't got a keyboard, unfortunately. I just realised actually this PC has actually got a lot of USBs on it. Because it's an X570 board, I don't think it's got any USB 2s on the back. I think they're all USB 3. Which is quite a weird thing to see. Okay, so we have lights, camera, action, so we can F1. I wonder what's wrong with that other stick of RAM. That's quite upsetting. Right, so 5700X3D, yeah, obviously we'd expect that. DDR3200. I think I'll just leave it as that at the moment. That'll be fine. And let's save and exit. We'll see if there's actually boot into the Windows installation, which I think is on this drive. I'm pretty sure it is. Because, although saying that, I've been doing so many installations and reinstallations this week. It's been absolute nightmare. I was trying to do a video on cloning. Reset FTP, yes. Yeah, I've been trying to do a video on cloning drives, and yeah, it was not going well at all. At all. I was... Actually, no, it wasn't cloning drives, was it? It was removing Windows passwords. So I've had to put... Oh, anyway. There's a really long video coming out of how to reset your Microsoft account password. And it kind of works. But it was such a pain in the ass. And because I ended up filming it on my laptop, and because it was filmed on the laptop, the screen resolution for filming is absolutely hideous. Like, proper hideous. So, my apologies in advance. The video's a good one, because you get some really good information in it, but the actual quality of the video, visually, is absolutely piss poor. But, it kind of is what it is. That GPU spinning it? Yeah, so GPU fans are spinning a little, which is good.
72 for Susan Robbins and 54% humidity.
Wow. And the Archer's coming in with £20 super chat. Catnip funds for the kids. Oh, bless you.
Oh, I need to grow another catnip. It died last year.
Yeah, oh, wrong mouse.
This year.
I always do that. The yeah, the cats have destroyed the catnip bush, so we do need to plant another one. Right, Marks Unboxing. Site Aventura pin and isn't available. Ah, set up my pin. I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? Because I'm not connected to the internet. Ah, but did I put on another local account on here? I might have done. If I can just escape that. No. Accessibility, nope. Networking, right, yeah, so you can't. That's stupid, isn't it? Click here, set up my pin. I don't know whether this is actually going to work. But at least there's a Windows install on here. So we're halfway there.
IKEA Shadow's in.
Hey, IKEA Shadow.
Either it's been really hot today and Mike's been in the garden, or the saturation is slightly off.
It's the first one, sadly.
Not today, though.
Right, enter password. Actually, use my Microsoft app. Let's do that. Where's my telling phone? And... anytime today. There we go. Continue. Right, so now I've got to put in a new PIN number, which is going to be one, which is, I hate the new PIN numbers. It's really stupid. Like, just let me log into my PC. Right, set up a PIN. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Will it even let me do that? Right. Right, what year is it? 2025, that'll do. 20. Oh, what's going on? My light's breaking. Calf.
Yeah.
Turn it off. Before people start having a fit. Is it broken? Flicker, isn't it? Turn it down a little. The brightness.
Do you want to do it?
Is it still flickering? Can't tell.
I think it is. Not like it was though.
Turn it up onto 4, is that 100%? Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen, we have lighting issues. Might restart later. Armory crate update service. Go on, whatever. Right, so we have a working system-ish. And let's quickly get Unigene Heaven. Unigene Heaven. Because that was the one I generally tend to use for benchmarking. Or at least stress testing on like anything new I've bought. Because it's very quick and easy to download, he says.
Wayne Taylor.
Wayne Taylor.
Do you realise YouTube takes... I've not heard what.
Do you realise... Where's Wayne Taylor? Do you realise YouTube takes 30% of those super chats? Better off implementing Stream Elements. Or you can use PayPal. You can just send PayPal donations if you want to. With, yeah, the super chat thing is a little bit of a pain, to be honest. But it's nice to get anything. It's a shame, really, that they haven't worked out that it's in their interest. Well, it's not in their interest, but it would help creators if the share size was different. So maybe they kept like 10% as a processing fee. 10% is still a lot for processing. You think when you use your credit card, which probably I'd imagine there's a similar amount of Snapchat super chats that go through as some small companies like credit card processing, and they do like 1% or 0.5%. But yeah, YouTube didn't get to be as rich as they are without having their fingers in the jar, or their fingers in the till, really.
IKEA Shannon question. I'm on a 3600 B450. What's my best upgrade path?
If you're on a 3600 with a B450, your upgrade path, if you don't want to spend a load of money, you just want an improvement in performance, then a 5700X3D from AliExpress is probably the perfect way to go. That will give you pretty much the best bang for buck. You're looking at about £120 at the moment for that processor. And the 5700X3D is kind of similar in gaming performance to a 7600X or 7700, in that sort of ballpark area. It will be a massive jump in performance. If you want to spend more money, then realistically, motherboard, processor, RAM, which is going to be AM5. So you're looking at probably a 7700 for £145 on AliExpress, £120-ish for a decent B650 motherboard, and about 80 to 100 for RAM for 32 gigs. Are we still loading this? Right, let's try that. So I'm going to fire up Unity in a minute and see if this now makes the same noise as it did. It doesn't seem to be at the moment, which is annoying. But it's still loading.
Fire things is honey PayPal.
Ah, here we go.
But everything's all compromised. To be fair, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, there you go. So we've got Unity in Heaven running. You're probably not going to be able to hear it amazingly because of the fans running as well. But if I put the microphone closer, I'm not sure if you can hear that. So that is Coil Whine. And it should replicate basically what you're seeing on the screen. I'm pretty sure it's coming from somewhere reasonably central. Oh, bloody armory crate. To be fair, that's my fault.
Happy day. I think my ears are done.
Don't want any of that.
There's a couple of questions.
Hello.
So
What are your questions?
Thoughts on Dell and Lenovo SFF for gaming?
I would probably not buy an SFX system in general. Regardless of any brand, I just think SFX or SFF PCs, small form factor PCs in general, are just a really bad idea. Unless you really don't have the room, or you've got a real kind of passion for that sort of form factor, I would never go with one. If you're going to do a smallish PC, I would say go for something like the Thermaltake TR100. For me, that is a really good balance between not having a lot of space taken up and also still having really good flexibility to put in there basically whatever you want without costing a small fortune. But yeah, that's it. Rasher says, that's annoying. Always wanted to hear Coil Whine. You can have the graphics card. You can buy it off me, and you can have all of the wine.
IKEA Shadow, did you answer the last question?
I think so.
Just £120 question mark.
For the motherboard?
I don't know. Take my money. I just upgraded from 16 gig to 32, and that made a massive difference.
Where is it?
And then Firephone, Mike, what's the lowest price you can build AM5 system?
I've actually got an AM5 system for sale at the moment, which is it's on Facebook Marketplace for $850, and that is with this graphics card in it. That is a MSI B650-A Pro Wi-Fi board, 32 gigs of Kingston Hyper Fury RGB RAM, The Deep Cool CG530 fish tank looking case. Also with a Deep Cool AIO, the LE360 version 2. That's really good actually. Surprised how good that is. Very quiet. 2 terabytes of storage. That's a Crucial P3. And what else has it got? Oh, power supply is a Thermaltake GF3 850 watt PCI Express. So pretty future proof in that regards for most things. Yeah, that's up for 850 at the moment. I think someone's going to come and collect it on Monday to buy it, but as with all things these days, never count your chickens until they're hatched.
You should the Monster Hunter Wild benchmark one.
There we go. You can see what's going on now.
Stick some WD-40 in there and thank me later. I'm joking, do not put WD-40 on your GPU.
To be fair, you could put WD-40 on there and it would be reasonably okay because WD-40 evaporates. Oh, for God's sake, go away.
We always get told to clean the wood burner with WD-40.
Yeah.
When they install them, they always tell you to clean it with...
Whose idea was it to click on the armory crate thing? Was that my idea? I think it was.
I don't know, because we didn't see a speech bubble above your head on that.
So currently that frames per second, obviously you're not going to be able to see that because it's tiny text, but the frames per second on there is about 310.
Getting it things so you can see it.
Actually. Can you see that now?
A little bit, but you can't put it over it. It'll go over towards your screen a bit more.
You're about 5 minutes behind.
You keep making me go off the screen.
Anyway, that's enough of that. Being silly now. So yeah, anything over 300 frames per second really kills it in this particular test. When we drop down a bit, it's not too bad. But you can certainly hear it, can't you? Viali says that benchmark is way out of date. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All we're trying to do is to make the highest frames per second we possibly can. So actually having an older, out-of-date benchmark is best because it pushes the frame rates up because it isn't so demanding. If I use something like... Steel Nomad, it would get about 30 frames per second and it would basically be pretty silent.
Rasha said, seriously, I didn't know what Coil Whine sounded like.
Alright, yeah, so that is Coil Whine. It's horrible.
What GPU is this, by the way?
GPU is a 6750XT. So I'm just reading some of the chat there.
Coil Whine was, but that's annoying.
It is horrible. Rasher says, Mike, I wasn't being sarcastic. That's right. No, it's fine. Seriously, I don't know what Coil Whine sounded like. It's yeah, it's just a really annoying sound. If most of the time you'd never hear it. It's only when the graphics card is under like an extreme load. Reopen app. Oh well. Look at that. Tough gaming keyboard. Tough gaming motherboard and an ASUS themed graphics card. We're pretty good. We're pretty good.
Stop whining.
Stop coil whining. Right, so now you all know what coil wang sounds like. You don't want to coil your wang. Right? Stroot. That could be pretty uncomfortable. So now the graphics card's had some time to heat up. This is the perfect time to actually take it apart and have a look inside. So let's.
IKEA Shadow, Coil Whine is on par with my ex-wife's voice, very grinding, often suicidal at higher pitch. I think that's just women generally, to be honest. I had to tell you to tell George to shut up last night, didn't I? Because I knew my voice would just go so high pitched and screechy.
God, this text is so small. Oh, that's still running. Right. Where are we? Shut down. You can still hear it a little bit actually, just scrolling or moving the mouse on the screen. Hey, lucky man. How you doing?
Oh, sorry, mates. Got to do that.
Viali says I've been very lucky, never had Coil Whine on anything. There were, I think there were some RTX 3070s and 3080s which were really, really prone for it. In general, it's not too bad most of the time. It's quite rare you get it. Mostly it's on used cards. And it's one of those things that I'll be honest, I actually genuinely forget to ask when people are selling their computers or old stuff. I should say to them, like, does it have Coil Whine? Because if it does, I don't want it, and pretty much guarantee that most other people aren't going to want it as well, because it is really annoying. Although some people, again, like the person who's potentially going to be buying this, I'm assuming they've read the advert and they're absolutely fine with it. So, kind of, it is what it is. Right, let's turn the power off and we get this out.
It reminds me a bit weird that I'm calling them Akio's shadow, not Dave Burns.
Oh yeah.
That's your name on there now.
Oh, come on. Luckily, the last time this board was actually used in any meaningful way, the PCI Express clip broke. So it was a little bit of a blessing, actually. Right, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I'm glad that everyone knows what GPU whine is all about now. Hey Shaky, how you doing? So, I guess we should take a look. Now this thing is sealed, and there's actually two BIOS modes in here. There's a P mode and a Q mode. And it's currently in P mode, I think. P mode. No, actually it's in quiet mode. I was tempted to try it in performance mode to see if it made any difference at all. I think if anything it'd be worse.
Is that desk pad from Technically Stable?
No, it's not actually. It's from William Bodie. PH0.
Technically Stable ones are slightly bigger.
Yeah, this is 800 by 300. The technically stable ones are 900 by 400. So a little bit larger.
Where is your big one?
Under my desk.
Oh, get it out.
It's over there. Hiding with the spiders. Arnold G says it might extra power. Yeah. Shaky says, I'm guessing the RMA is knackered once you open it. It's basically, there is no RMA on this because it is from eBay. So there isn't really, what's that stuck on with?
Show that when you get a chance.
Ooh. Ooh. Right, so thermal pads over there, which have been leaking. They're a bit sticky, so we could possibly replace those. Maybe. And actually, I'll put those screws on top of there, because then I know that that was the screws that came out with. Okay, so you can see there's a bit of sweating there where the thermal pads have been used, and they're kind of, actually you probably can't see it very well. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. So you can see it sweating a bit.
Technically Stable because it's someone I know who runs it, lives 5 miles from me.
Ah, right, yeah.
Still won't give me a free pad though.
No, bastards. Right, let's see. Right, I'm going to start attacking this. Looking at how much those pads have been sweating on there, I would argue that the rest of it on the inside is going to be worse. There's a void if removed sticker there, which I'm having troubles sticking. Where did that come off of there? You wee bastard. It's probably best not to go stabbing at things with a screwdriver, but we've come this far. It's actually got quite a nice smell to it, this graphics card. It's got a definite bit of the old links or whatever going on. Right, so I'll put that to one side. That goes on after. I think with that removed, the top shell should come away. Unless it's attached on there still. No.
For Coil Whine.
Sometimes you can. It depends on the supplier. That is part of the reason why I would generally try to use someone like Amazon when you're buying expensive GPU stuff. Because with Amazon, you've got a 30-day guarantee. They don't even bother asking. They don't even bother checking half the time. They're just like, yeah, no problem, don't want it, fine, send it back, here's a label. Whereas with pretty much any other manufacturer on the planet, they're going to want to do like a pop quiz to see what the deal is, and probably still won't have it back. So for stuff like that, even though it's a little bit more expensive, I would be considering going with Amazon. See, there's some hot snot there. Let's see if we can take those out. Do those come out easy enough? No. How are those held in? There we go. Right, so there is the fascia removed, so we can maybe take a look at that later if we need to. I don't think we do, but now we can see if there's any other screws. So it would appear that the heatsink itself is still attached in a couple of places. So we've got a couple of extra screws here, which I'm guessing this is going to be the area, this is going to be the problematic bit. So this is where the voltage stuff is. You can see on this side we've got all these, I think these are inductors.
Can you link Discord so Shaky can rejoin, please?
Yeah. There you go. So now I think that is it. I don't think there's anything else holding that together. So just going to gently pry it apart. Hopefully, with the amount of heat we've put into there, it should start coming off quite easily. There we go. Excellent stuff. So there is the inside. There are the chokes. These are what I believe are the problem, or at least one of them is. Maybe all of them, I don't know. But looking at this immediately, what I can see is that this thermal pad here, can you see that? Yeah, you can just about. So this thermal pad here is only making contact with the VRMs there and the PWM controllers for the VRM. So the chokes themselves are not getting any cooling or any, they're not basically touching that at all. So that is something we can certainly look at, putting some thermal pads on here to make that better.
This is eBay GPU mic.
Yes, yes, it was eBay, yeah.
Pad them, pad them, pad them.
I'm going to pad them, I think. I'm also going to do the thermal paste because that is, actually,
Squidward paste
it's not too bad. I've seen worse. But yeah, those are I'm pretty sure those are inductors. It could be this section here as well. But those, from the look of it, so we've got thermal pads obviously there. But those aren't, those coils, sorry, are coils or chokes or whatever they are. That one sounds empty or hollow.
Hot glue.
That is the one, I think. Actually, what? Something's vibrating on there. And what is it? Because there shouldn't be anything loose. Is it the back plate? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. It'd be fun if it was the back plate vibrating all along.
Wayne Taylor says they don't need cooling, they are coils.
I don't want them cooled, I just want them to stop vibrating. That is the whole thing. The cooling inside of it, as far as I can tell, the cooling is actually great. This thermal glue is awful.
Get it off.
Very thick, which is actually quite a good sign. But I don't think that is what they would use from the factory, so I think it has been taken apart already. Although saying that, it can't be, can it? Because the warranty void if removed sticker was on there.
K5 Pro thermal putty.
Sounds great. I haven't got any.
Mining really hard. You can heat sticker and comes off. Exactly, dampening foam, not thermal foam pads, i.e. Silverstone damping foam pads.
Yeah, I haven't got any of them either.
I have a sheet of them stickers. Can buy online. I use them to trade stuff into CEX.
Excellent. That's a pretty good idea, actually. Why is there no thermal pad on the 4 chokes left of the processor? Those ones there? Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't any on there either. None of the chokes actually had anything on them. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but...
Rick H has been an electronics technician for over 40 plus years.
Oh, cool. Tell me what to do, Rick.
IKEA's off.
Cheers, IKEA.
Yeah, they're on heatsink. Which paste are you using, Mike?
I'm not too sure. I haven't really had any great deals of thought about it. I will see. I'm going to need some...
Let's get Rick to the side. He's the technician and
I'm thinking MX4, but...
And he sent you lots of thermal paste.
Yeah. I got some TF4 that I got from Rick as well. Could use that. I'll have to fish it out though. Craig Timbin says sound quality is low. Is it? Or quiet or just bad quality? To be honest with you, there isn't really a great deal of point cleaning this up too much. It's more of a vanity project than anything. I still kind of want it to look a little bit cared for. Silence is golden. This paste doesn't really want to melt down. It's very gloopy.
Rick H, I like my thermal grizzly hydronaut.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff actually. I suppose with this, something like the phase change material stuff would be good. Actually saying that, no, it wouldn't be, because it doesn't stay particularly solid. So you might find you get gaps, or it compresses a little bit too much when it does change phase. Right, I think that's pretty clean. That'll do. That'll do for me. Let's try and get this crap off the other bit now. Then we'll have a look at some measurements and see what we can do. So I'm thinking, maybe this is right, maybe this is wrong, but I'm thinking if I get some blue tack or whatever, put it on top of the chokes.
You got that thing right in the way there.
Yeah, I was thinking if I could put some blue tack on there and then squeeze the cooler together and see how much it compresses the blue tack, and then get thermal pads built up to be the same height as whatever it compresses down to. If that makes sense. It kind of made sense as I was thinking it in my head, because I basically need to know the gap between the cooler and that, just so I can apply some pressure to it, just so I can stop it vibrating. Because like anything, if something's vibrating, if you put a bit of pressure on it, it can often change that. It may not work at all, but it would be nice if it made a little difference. It doesn't have to be drastic, just enough to make it so it's not unpleasant to use. Yeah.
Right, the thermal pads are on the heatsink and heavily indented.
Yep. They are indented. So I don't know whether to change those while we're at it. Put some fresh ones on. I'm guessing these are probably going to be a higher quality. Oh, cheers, Charles. These pads are not original. Are you sure? Right, that's cleaned up. So, do we replace these pads, or shall I just wing it with those?
Hayden Trent, they are the original pads. I've had an ASUS Dual card apart today, same pads.
Alright, cool. I thought they would be. Yeah, you're right. I did have to break the seal. The seals can be replaced. Some people do that.
Mike, replace them all. Be at home.
Yeah. I want to know how much room there is between that gap, and what is an easy way of validating that.
Reality, they look good to me. I'm not sure if he's talking about that. Wing it.
Wing it. Right, that's the white ray round, isn't it? Let's put that in place, roughly. Oh, I hate doing these. Try and get the holes to line up as well after is a pain in the backside. Right, that's pretty much bang on. Okay, so take a sideways look through. And yeah, I don't know if that camera is going to pick it up, but you can see where those inductors are. So along this line here, see where there's a gap between those chokes, and the metal. So I need to pack that out somehow, but I need to work out what that distance actually is. Or just see what the thickest thermal pads I've got are.
Why don't you use those things you had for cutting the laminate around corners? And you had to wedge the hell with it.
The ones on the ones on this end, they're going to be easy because they're really close.
Move lower hand light through.
You can see. Remove lower hand. Okay.
That's awful. Maybe.
So you can see the gap just there. I don't know, I reckon that is, I think that's going to be about 2 mil. So the ones at this end,
Shine light towards table.
can you make that out? Anyway, right, I think I've seen enough. I said that at the beginning of the stream. I've had enough. I'm not doing it anymore.
2 mil, 3 mil easy. What kind of thermal paste are you using on a GPU?
Not sure yet.
I reckon my OCD would put thermal pad on 4 tubes.
That is hopefully, yeah, what I'm going to plan to do if I can find them. There we go. The thing is with the thermal pads, they are going to maybe hold them in place very slightly. I don't think it's going to be that drastic of a change because the pressure required is probably not going to be enough. And I don't want it so that the cooling actually becomes worse overall. But this is just, we're just playing, just seeing what we can do, see what could be achieved. If it's brilliant, awesome. If it's not so good, well, at least we've tried. So this is a mixed bag of various different size thermal paste. So I've got some 3 mil pads, sorry, 3 mil, got some 2 mil, 1.5, I think that must be, and 2 mil, and 1 mil. That must be 1.5 then. So let's slide that in, said the vicar. And
why are there more display ports than HDMI ports on a GPU?
because display ports are generally better overall, and also I don't think DisplayPort has the same amount of licensing restrictions, whereas HDMI ports you have to pay a license to use each one. You don't just pay a license to use all of them. I'm pretty sure it's per port. I could be wrong on that. Right, 1 mil. 1 mil?
But 1.75, 1.5, 3 mil most likely. Some are 3 mil, 5.
Right, we're doing 1.5 for this one.
Reality, Mike just googled it. Some are 3 mil and some are 2.5.
Right, because I've just measured that as being 1.5 for the ones at the front.
Use your magnifying glass.
And 3 mil. Right, I'm going to do 3 mil along the... Come on, get apart. I'm going to use 3 mil on this side. And I'm going to use 1.5 mil on the other side. So let's put that there and that there. So I remember which side it is. So this side is going to be done first. And this, where's my skizzers?
In your mind.
So this doesn't need to be particularly wide. So I'm going to just do that along there. There's most likely a much better way of doing this, but that wouldn't be my way, would it?
Wait till you fit a great cheese at the end.
Yeah.
You need to take both sides off first.
Not really.
Just thinking it might be a bit
Here comes Rasher with a super
I
chat.
can't find the remote because I left it over there on purpose.
Rasher says, £20 super chat. Oh, 20 euros, sorry. I asked my wife what women really want. And I think she said a tent of flowers. I'm going to have to work that one out. Attention lovers. Attentive lovers. Got you. Brilliant. That took me a while then. Right, so if I cut that about there. Yeah, I think we're good there. So that's going to give that some nice coverage. Now, I'm wondering, this might be overkill, but I am wondering if I put some in between them, if I can. So not only am I compressing them from the top, I'm also kind of spacing them out in the side as well. I don't think that'll go actually. Let's try a 2mm. Yeah, 2mm not going to do a lot, I don't think. I could do with 2.5mm, or I use 2mm and a 0.5mm. That's probably taking it a little bit too far, isn't it? But the 3mm I don't think is quite going to go. Not even, actually. It kind of does, but doesn't want to go quite all the way. So no, I think that is probably not a great idea. I don't know if it actually hurt the performance.
Mike, are new NVIDIA drivers a bust?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't they need some air to circulate between chokes?
I don't know. I would think, and I'm just hypothesizing here.
If you overdo the pads, won't they act as an insulator?
Well, the pads are designed to transfer heat, and thermal pads generally will transfer heat better than air, because there isn't actually any airflow of any sort underneath here, because it's all encased. The cooler does all the work on the top, and I actually saying that
Lovers, not flowers.
it does blow through there, doesn't it?
Babe,
Hello?
it says a tent of lovers, not flowers.
Oh yeah, sorry. I read it wrong and I was trying to work out what it was saying. I get it now. I understand. You shouldn't use one on top of the other because you get air trapped. Okay. Right. I think I'm going to go with... Oh God, what size... What did I say was on this side? 1.5, wasn't it? Did I say it's 1.5 on this side? Can someone rewind the stream a little bit and see what I said? Because I said I was going to put them on one side or the other and do it. I think
1.5.
Was it 1.5 on this side?
Says.
Oh geez, it's 1.5. So 1.5 on this side, 3mm that side. Okay. Let's just go with that for now. And I'll put it back together and we'll see how if it actually improves at all.
Primary reason for thermal pads on chokes is to help minimise coil whine, not for cooling.
Yeah. Exactly. That is what we are looking for. So 1.5 on this side. And just cut that out. This could be like, yeah, this could be like, oh, what's it called? Blue Peter.
You're missing important coils, Mike. When you take that.
Which coils would those be? Those? Or those?
Cool, then pack those coils until we can't see them anymore.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see my coils. Which side is this? Okay. Pads will cause no issues with heat or ventilation. Thanks, Wayne.
Are wolf and above?
Can't see unless overhead, of course. Okay.
Too big means other parts might get good contact, like the GPU.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do them too big. So if I could have gone slightly bigger, but I think this is going to be okay. I'll put the cooler back on and we'll kind of validate it a little bit. So I can't really see, maybe on those.
Oh, David Underhill's off.
Cheers, David. Good night. David can't watch. He's an electronics expert and he's watching me make a right kerfuffle. for now, so you can see. No, they're caps. Yeah, those are caps, aren't they? So I think those are the only chokes. Well, there's one there and one there and one there, but I'm not sure whether they're of any real kind of relevance. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Six single coils you're missing. Oh, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. There's one there as well. So do I need to do all of them? Mike, do you ever get a shot off a cap? No, I haven't. 100%, they all work all the same. Okay, right. So I need to work out those depths as well then.
And then Arnold G said, no, only the big ones.
All right. You fight it out to...
Why don't you try it like that? How much hassle is it? I suppose it's loads of hassle.
Actually, I can't do anything with the others anyway because they are quite far away from the actual heatsink. Yeah, some of them don't touch it at all. Is that around the right way? Yeah, must be. Yeah, so the ones that are basically there, and there are nowhere near the cooler, I don't think. Yeah, they're just on the outside of the cooler, so the only ones I can do would be the ones there for the power input. So I think I'm just going to do it as it is for now. And I'm going to try this and see what it's like. If it improves it slightly, great. If not, I might have to invest in some of those other pads that were mentioned a little bit earlier.
Wings. Always pads. Antenna.
Look at that, I made a little poo. I'm just going to spread that very gently.
Honestly, I'm starting to get visuals of a kid with lots of safety padding with word parents. Bubble wrapped.
Yeah. Going to do the cake method. And then
it says Silverstone foam damping pads. Do you want me to write that down for you?
Yeah. Right, so we've got some pretty reasonable coverage there. And then just to be on the safe side, actually. Be on the safe side, I will. Put a blob in the middle as well. And that'll force its way outward. And undo all of my bad work.
Leave 2 mil edge thinner to prevent excess overflow.
Okay. Yeah, the outside edges are not very well coated anyway. Wayne Taylor says the pad touching the heatsink will do nothing to reduce vibration. It's the pads themselves. All right. Really? Okay. Well, in that case then, I will stick them on. Where's my skizzers?
You haven't got to worry about thickness or anything there, have you?
No, not really, so I'll just use the biggest ones, isn't it? But then they're not very sticky. Oh, you shithead. Yeah, these ain't very sticky, actually.
Spit on them, Babs.
Spit on it.
Mike.
Hello.
To buy some fresh paste. Would buy an Arctic MX4 again still be okay?
Who said that?
Barnes.
Yeah. Yeah, I use MX4. There's thousands of different types of thermal paste on the market, and I don't think there's necessarily any which are particularly bad. MX4 generally seems to be a very good price.
Reali says, if you put pads in places they are not supposed to be, they will not be cooled by the fans properly.
Yeah, they're not designed to be cooled though. The chokes themselves don't get hot, or the only heat they get is kind of radiated heat from around them, and they can get as hot as you want. It's the VRMs and the inductors and stuff which are the ones which are more important. So yeah, they don't need cooling as such.
Coiled solder and push against board would help.
It might do. I'm still not.
Spot on my... What do you want?
Oh, there's one there as well.
What do you want? You shouted me.
Who did?
Lucky man.
Lucky man.
Yeah, did you shout him?
Did I? What did I say? I don't know. I don't remember.
I get this all the time, lucky man.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah. I'm not sure how well those are going to adhere to the area. Whether they're going to stay in place at all, but hey, in for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. And we'll now attempt to reassemble the contraption. I don't want to do this more than once. I think that is okay. No, slightly off. Oh crap. There we go.
You said shithead, lol.
Ah, I didn't know. It wasn't that sort of shithead. It was another shithead that I was after. But thanks.
Most components with electricity flowing through them resonate, usually at a frequency we can't hear. It's bad luck when you land one that is audible. Yeah,
I think that is pretty much the deal, isn't it? Well, I need to put this on something. Let's put it on there.
About the kids when they had that app on their phone with this high-pitched noise, and they were waiting on a bus stop and entertaining themselves with my mum. Remember?
No.
And they kept going, "Can you hear it now, Gran? Can you hear it now?" And then eventually the woman on the bus stop near them got really pissy with them and said, "Well, I can hear it." Stop doing it.
What did I do with my little screwdriver? Did it fall on the floor? It's under here somewhere.
How little is it?
It's like one of those little yellow ones.
Out of a cracker.
Kind of. Where the hell have I put that? Did I put it back in the box? In there? No, don't think so.
You put that bag of stuff on top of it, haven't you?
Yeah. Hold on. Thanks, Cal.
That's okay. I know you quite well.
Oh. I'm excited to see how well this does, if at all.
You did move it up a little bit.
Can't really see that now.
Riani says, my new 9070 has got thermal pads on the rear, touching the back plate too. Has the card got any on the back plate, Mike?
Yes. Yes, that is something they have definitely considered on this. So the back plate, let's see which way around that's going to be. So power is there. So yeah, they've got some going over this section here and this section here. I think you can almost make out the grease where it was. Actually, while we're here,
loosen up a few more.
yes, loosen off a few more caps. Don't need them. Waste of bloody space, those things. Now, what screws went in there? Because I've got two lots of screws here which are very similar.
That's why you had that mat. But have them all marked up in there.
Right, those have got markers on them, or little indentations.
Remember?
Hey?
That magnetic mat with where you could put things in
Oh yeah.
boxes or something.
Oh, you shit.
Sprung ones for the cooler to the GPU die.
Yeah, they got those. Got a lot of sprung ones. We're good with that. That seemed like it flexed too much then.
That first boot is going to have a high pucker factor. Hate those.
Right, those on that end are too big. This end is actually pretty bloody good. Oh, there's one there that's not making a very good contact. But it is in contact, so... That one's still not making any contact. Yeah. Those last couple I did on this end are way too big. So let's take those off. So that's actually making the board flex.
They need to compress.
They do need to compress, but they are way too big. Actually, saying that.
I would look at the PCB itself and make sure it has no weird fans in it.
That'll be fine. It has no weird what?
Fans.
I don't understand what that means.
Like it's one to have a band camp. I don't know either. What you like?
I don't really.
I don't know anything. Or nothing.
I think we're okay. Again, that one there was a bit unfortunate. So give it a good squeeze.
Alright, Giorgio?
Hello. Bless him. Okay, right. Reassembly. So you've got two screws that go on the end through there. Come on, you're being a douche.
Do you want the IKEA hammer?
Yeah, where's the IKEA hammer when you need it? So better plug these in. The light in. Although I don't really like the light in. There we go.
Glenn's off.
Cheers, Glenn. Have a nice rest of your weekend. Don't work too hard. That's a bit shit. Right, those are in. I'm sure it looked neater than that last time, but oh well, whatever. It's not my graphics card. Oh dear. Right, I've got 2 screws for the end. I'm just excited to see how this turns out. I think it's going to be awful.
Freedom House says, if I tighten the screws on the end of my cooler all the way, I get worse with the RM temp because it bends the PCB slightly.
Ah.
Have you reconnected the fan cables?
Yes, just did that. But thank you.
Lucky man. Lucky to have it.
If it weren't for Lucky Man, we could have had a disaster on our hands there. Actually, luckily on there, they're really easy to connect up.
I think it's going to be 20% quieter, barely noticeable.
Who said that?
Arnold G.
Arnold G.
And Sky Stalker.
As long as it's not worse. Yeah, Sky knows what we're about.
Whatever you people, don't use super glue, hot glue. These only work on unencased coils. These coils have black plastic box encasing them. It's just Dutch jab. It's just an ASUS. Who cares?
Wow. That's not very nice, is it?
Give it the tap tap test for vibrations. Might want to do a long break in post stream to be sure the card is thermally stable.
What is going on here? Right, why did that not want to go on there?
Mike, best brand of same GPU.
Best brand of the same GPU? I have no idea. I like MSI cards, to be fair. Some people may agree, some people may disagree, but yeah, I generally like MSI cards.
Wayne Taylor, to be honest, I give it a 20% chance. Sorry, Mike.
That's fine, I don't care. I don't understand quite how that goes through there. Oh, it does match up, okay.
My tire's there, maybe went on upstairs.
Is she? Don't blame her. Oh, you fucker. Excuse my language. What is going on? Get out. Am I doing something completely stupid here? I probably am.
Goes on right the other way. I'm joking. Do it left-handed.
Yeah. Now for some reason, that cable doesn't want to go where it was.
F-bombs are mandatory
Oh yeah.
with this sort of work.
There's me trying to put a screw through a screw. Something very peculiar about all this. And why it doesn't want to sit down flush. Maybe it does. Right, that bit properly. Nice. There we go.
Hello, Candy. Oh, you're sweet, aren't you?
How's that supposed to screw into?
Can you come and say hello? Oh, you can't miss the wrong camera.
Yeah, this is probably not a good time for that.
It is always a good time.
Right, what have I done here? That looks like it's completely pissed.
I'll be with you in a second then.
Something very strange about all this. It really doesn't seem to want to go back together.
You plug the fans back in, mate.
Yeah.
Is it because you got the wrong screws?
No. I did consider that.
I'm flicking at it, Babs.
Gonna. Alright, that one's in now. Seems like it's really lopsided. But maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just me. Well, it looks alright actually. That's fine. See what that's actually supposed to be screwing into.
Pad's wrong thickness. Shouldn't affect the bit though, shouldn't it?
No, because the pads are on the other side. Let's go into the main camera now. Yeah, I can't quite see why that would do that. It's almost like the little, there's no grip actually in the plastic. I don't think so.
Freedom House. Alright, back to the salt mines. Take care everyone and good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, I just don't want to stick in there at all. I can't even see if there is a thread in the plastic anyway. Ah, it is, it's just further out. Right, I'm trying to push it in too far. That's better. Now it fits.
Now I'm flicking at it.
Gonna. Yeah, I was trying to push the plastic in. Better.
Let the tool deliver it, Babs.
I am. The tool. Right, moment of truth. Let's put this thing into a computer and see how much we've made it worse. Now, I have actually run some benchmarks on this card earlier. Not on this system though, unfortunately, so I should have done that beforehand.
Can you use white two-sided tape versus blue pads?
I don't know. Maybe. I would think so.
What's that?
What's what?
Two-sided tape.
Double-sided tape, you know. Look at that, I put something back together and I've used all the same screws. I've not got any left over.
But you're not sure those ones went in the right place.
That's right.
Earmuffs ready?
I suppose I really should have a look and see what caused the problem earlier with the RAM. Although I think at the moment that is the least of our worries. Who said that?
Sky Stalker.
Sky. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, actually, HDMI cable's on this side, isn't it? I nearly did it again. I nearly put the...
Oh, Viali.
What do you say?
I do love these streams. No better entertainment on a Saturday night.
Thank you, Viali. I'm waiting for the retort, though. There's normally one. Thank you.
Good luck, Fred.
Eh?
Fred Vandom movement. Good luck,
Thanks. I may need much of that. Why have I got a lot less room this time round than I did last time? Oh, it's because I got loads of shit on the desk. Right, let's move this over here.
Watch out, Candy.
La 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 la.
Candy.
It's gonna take me another. This is perfect. This Saturday is perfect. MotoGP sprint race, then Mike and Calf stream. Thank you. Oh, monitor's gone. There we go. I will get that sorted out one day.
Bang!
You're an idiot. Don't do it. Right. Let's see if we've made any progress. Well, at least the power button's on my side now. I can't even look. I don't even know. I don't even want to know if it boots. Well, weirdly, the fans are spinning on boot up though. That's a good sign.
Not anymore.
Way, it's booting. We at least have a picture.
That's the whole of Bristol uses power, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it does affect everyone in the street every time you turn that monitor on off.
I hope so. Can you put that? Oh, don't worry. I should show that later, shouldn't I?
He's gone now anyway, hasn't he?
Yeah. Right. I can't really see the screen from there.
It's got an actual 21:31 time on it.
Okay. Let's log in. I can't remember. What pin number did I use?
I didn't see. I was out in the kitchen making.
Oh, the year 2025. Right. There seems to be a lot of silence over in this general area. That Knox Your Cooler is good in terms of its quietness. Right, so we're going to run Unigine Heaven. I'm not going to change any settings, I'm going to run as I did.
I've never seen you run.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. Ah! It might be better.
But does it take a while to calm down or anything? Do you have to bed in or anything?
Right, it's coming from this top end, I think.
Better.
It's a bit better. It's not great.
Not sure. I think I can still hear it.
Are temps any higher? Good question. I would say not at the moment because the fans are barely spinning, whereas last time they were going nuts.
Lucky man, I can hear it.
If I put the mic right next to it, you'll pick it up straight away. That was probably very loud.
Sorry, I walked across the room.
What frames are we getting now? Well, we're still getting roughly about the same, so 300s. It seems to be only, like, that's 350 frames per second, so that actually seems a bit higher. Yeah, it's running about 290-ish. So, I don't know. I think it sounds better. It seems to be going down a bit. You can definitely hear it. It is there. Vianney says I couldn't really hear anything, just fan noise. Melt the coil's plastic with a butane torch. I might try that. I've got a butane torch, I could do that. And just so you know, that isn't the fans. So it isn't fan noise, but when the fans are running, this kind of blend into it anyway. Have you tried another power supply? They can, but not always, change how much whine there is. Yes, I have used... this is the third power supply I've tried on now. It does seem to be running a lot cooler, because the fans are kind of kicking on and off. But they're just not spinning at their normal speed at the moment. I think what I'll do is when they come around to take a look at it, I think I'll just run it with another benchmark, which isn't as bad. Wayne says it's not going to stop the vibration, it's only going to absorb some of the noise. I mean, it's not acoustic pad, only thermal pads. Rasher says, put the microphone up close with the fans all off. I might need another hand for that. Vianney says, it must be your hearing is sensitive to that tone. It probably is a little bit. Right, fans are off. It actually seems to be getting quieter. With the fans on, it's probably not noticeable. Don't think it like that. Sky says the power supply does make a difference. I can attest to having replaced it 3 times this week to resolve the same problem. Well, if you like, I can actually. I've got a platinum power supply. If you want, we can try that and see if it makes any difference. I don't know whether it will.
You got try in there for bed cams?
Yeah, Lowrab says if you cap the FPS to under 200, Coil Whine will slow down. Yeah, if I put VSync on, it goes away entirely. In fact, I think I can do that without destroying this too much. Let's have a look. Where are we? Settings. VSync. Okay. Right, we're now V-synced. Absolutely silent. The fans aren't even running. But we're capped at 60 FPS.
Probs in a closed case may be better.
VSync, yeah. If you put VSync on, it's completely silent and it'll run passively as well. But 60 FPS. Some people will be fine with that, but
I can't really hear it now.
well, it's now it's not doing it now.
But Vianney says it must be your hearing sensitive to that tone, others wouldn't hear it.
If I turn that back on. Actually, I wonder what settings I can put on here to actually pulverize it a little bit. What generally? Let's do higher resolution. And we'll turn off VSync. We'll turn on ×8x anti-aliasing. It's probably going to be upset with me now. Yeah, we're still getting like 300 or 270 odd FPS, so it is going to do it. The point of it is down to FPS.
How's
So
hot spot temps now you replace pads any better?
I don't even know if I've got any temperature sensing software on here. I don't think I've even got the drivers installed, to be fair. Let's quit that a minute. Which part of quit do you not understand? Silence. Let's do hardware monitor. Looks like you're not connected to the internet. Well, gosh darn it, you're absolutely right. Thanks for spotting it. You nasty fecker. Nick Barnes, if you limit the FPS monitor, sure it's quiet and saves electric and heat. Yes, exactly. Generally, I do set on my desktop, I always have it set to VSync. Because why waste frames? God damn, I'm hungry now. I could eat horses. We don't even have horses to eat.
Well, I don't know, they might still be putting it in lasagnas and stuff.
I don't mind a horse meat lasagna. I actually said that out loud, didn't I? Right, hardware monitor. I'm going to take some baseline readings for the graphics card. Where are we? Right on. So hotspot temperature currently is 52C, global's 49, GPU's 49, memory junctions 46, hotspot 52, SoC VR is 67. So what's the SoC VR? I don't really know what that is. I've never actually seen that that on there before, I don't think. Right, let's run that again, and we'll have it set to much smaller. Oh balls, I didn't do full screen, did I? Sheath heed. Quit. It's funny actually, even just on that screen there, it right, there we go.
More often people reduce coil wind with undervolt and cap FPS.
Gotcha. Right, just looking at the temperatures now. We've got 350 FPS at the moment, and it's just hit 60, so the fans have just come on.
Lower running cool. As good job. Is it winter now?
No, it's spring. Yeah, it seems to be sticking around about 60 degrees, roughly. Power, actually, we're not using much power. Tell you what, let's stop benchmarking. God damn it. Right. So I'm trying to make sense of these temperature readings now. So the hotspot is obviously the hotspot on the GPU. You've got the global temp. You've got the GPU temp. You've got the memory junction temp. Then you've got a hotspot temp, and then you've got the SoC VR. Are they just trying to make things more complicated? Sky says 79C is great for a video card at full. Upstate New York, snowed this morning. Wow. Right, let's try. We'll do a last Hail Mary, and we'll try a premium platinum power supply, just to see if it makes any difference. I don't think it is going to in this instance. I know it does in other situations. I've had that myself personally. But I think in this particular instance, it isn't going to be winner, winner, chicken dinner. Is that platinum? That's gold, I think. Platinum, there we go. Let's move this away. Well, I've got to say, I'm looking forward to getting up tomorrow morning. No. That was actually the absolute opposite. This is nuts. A platinum power supply is this small. Absolute insanity. Right, what's that? High power? No, don't want that one. CPU. Let's have a couple of GPUers. Actually, the GPU only needs 220 watts anyway, so I'll just use one and daisy chain them. This is off, isn't it? No, it is now. Oh dear. It has been a long day, for those of you that are wondering. At least it has been for me. Yeah, this little guy is pretty impressive. A 1,000 watts and titanium in something the size of basically, well, I can't even think. It's smaller than most CPU coolers. It'd be funny actually if this works and is like silent, because if it is, I'm not putting a platinum power supply in this PC. Okay, we're good, I think. So what if I plug in the power to it? That'll make life much better. Wait for the power to go funny. Nope, all good. Okay, and fire in the hole. Where's the switch? That side. There we go. There we have our screen again. Can you see that? You can just about, can't you? SATA. I knew I forgot something. We need some SATA power. God, this is going to be hard work. Let's move my stream deck before I actually accidentally end the stream. When you're using a modular power supply, never ever, ever, ever consider using the same cables on a different brand of power supply, because it's just not going to end well. This ain't going to end well at all either. Cool. There's a little bit on the stiff side. So if I turn that on again, we have lights. I'm pleased the motherboard works. Albeit on one RAM channel at the moment. I don't want that. No, I suppose it don't make any difference, does it? Thank God. I'll get closer so you can hear it.
Did you hear about the short-sighted circumciser?
No.
He got sacked. How much was that platinum PSU? Because it's possibly platinum at taking money from your bank account.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I would have to look it up. I'm not too sure. There's probably there's Kath in it.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is.
So I think the noise has. It's really hard to put a thing on it because it's the frequency. I'm still trying to work out where exactly it's coming from.
Mary's only just joined. How have you done?
Badly. Or, well, I've not done badly, but I've done kind of as expected. So we've arguably reduced the noise a little bit. We've certainly improved the cooling. That was certainly noticeable straight away because the fans basically just weren't moving at all after doing the repaste and the pads, etc. So the temps do appear to be better. I need to do some proper benchmarks and testing on it really to fully work out what's going on. But in terms of removing the actual Coil Whine, no, it's still pretty bad, unfortunately. But I guess it kind of is what it is. Kind of almost what I expected, but I wanted to go through the process of trying it because it's a thing. You hear about it online, people say, oh yeah, try doing this, try doing that. The next thing really is probably going to be either the acoustic pads or I don't really want to do the superglue thing. I think the superglue thing is a bad idea entirely. And I should have looked closer actually to see if those chokes can actually be replaced. Not that I would do it, but that would also be an interesting thing. Hayden Trent says, thought Mike was crying then. No, not yet.
Pressure. Spent 14 hours in A&E after getting covered in camouflage paint. And I still haven't been seen.
Oh, he's terrible, isn't he? Bless him. That's good.
Makes that for ugly Bob.
Yeah. Right, so I think we've... Cheers, Welly Bob. Sorry that it wasn't a better result or better outcome in the end. I don't know what's actually happened to the...
Wayne says Superglue absolutely won't work on a paste coil.
Yeah, I think it... Older ones, possibly. Yeah, I don't think it's... Or replace the GPU, yeah. Cheers, Rick. Rick H says it didn't seem too bad to me. I don't think it's as bad as it was. I think it's still somewhat obnoxious. But again, we are testing worst case scenario here. And can this RAM? I want to.
Free earplugs with it.
Yeah, I'll give some AirPods with it. I want to see if this will work with 2 sticks of RAM in it, or whether or not it's going to get that RAM error, because that was a little bit of a weird thing.
Oh. That's some really nice fans.
Now it's working with both sticks. I think I must have had the sticks in badly. So there we go, it's booting up now. Can you see the screen? Hopefully you can. Yeah, you can. So yeah, we've got to boot.
RMA it.
I can't RMA it. It isn't that sort of deal. It's an eBay thing. So I could, I guess, send it back. The trouble is the deal that I got on it was really, really good. So it's like 50 quid cheaper than basically any other 6750 XT on eBay even. They quite often go for like 300 quid and I paid 220. So kind of, if you say, you can sometimes get them for like 250, 270. So to save 50 quid for a little bit of noise, if you're a proper gamer and you're a headset gamer, then you're probably never gonna worry about it at all, are you? It's never gonna even cross your mind. You'll just be like, headset on, game in, happy days, loads of frames per second for very little money. And like I said, the PC technically is sold. So this was only really just to kind of really satisfy my own curiosity to see what could be done and what couldn't be done. And if nothing else, at least now I can turn around and say, look, it's still making a bit of a noise, but the GPU has been effectively serviced and has had fresh paste and pads, pretty much. And yeah, that is kind of it, really. And I don't think you could RMA it, like someone just said then. It's noisy coils or noisy anything electrical, like electrical humming, you're very, very unlikely to successfully get an RMA agreed for that sort of thing. Because it's kind of like, well, does it work? Yeah. Does it perform as expected? Well, yeah. But it's just noisy. Well, stick with it. In fact, we spent over, well, just under £1,000 on a new freezer, American style one from Hisense, and the motor is noisy as all hell. There's a design fault where the condenser or the heat exchanger or whatever gets frost on it, and as it does, the frost builds up and it hits the fan, so you get this noise. It's awful. You've probably heard it in streams before. And basically we said to them, like, this is the noise it's making, we can't film videos like it, it's just ridiculous, so I have to turn the freezer off. And they're like, well, yeah, there's nothing we can do. The LED light went out, they changed that like that. But the actual condenser making a ridiculous noise, not interested.
We got rid of the last one because it was
getting
noisy after 15 years.
The last one was rusty a bit.
I think it was 17 years.
But we had it for like,
18.
Since we moved into the house, and it's like a good 17, 18 years old. Still functioning, but we just thought, well, it's getting a bit noisy, it's starting to go. So we'll get a shot, get a new one. And the new one was louder than the old one.
And the old one that was making the noise, we vacuumed the back of it in the meantime, and it was fine, wasn't it? But we thought, because it's getting old, let's get a new one. But It is your ears mostly, though.
Yeah, it is my ears. Kath never notices any, well, not never, but rarely notices noise. But it's only because I go on and on and on about it. She's like, oh, for God's sakes, just shut up, you boldy old bastard.
Ariston's reviews and how-tos. They used to have good brands that went on.
Ariston. Orb Thief, given the current prices, is it worth paying extra for 3D V-Cache on a RAM, on a Ryzen 9 CPU, for workstation stroke? To be honest with you, I would never pay the extra for a 3D V-Cache. If you got the money and you like it and you want the bragging rights, sure, go for it. I don't see the attraction personally. Yes, you get better 1% lows in gaming and you get fractionally higher frames per second, but it's like anything. At what cost? If the non-3D V-Cache version is significantly cheaper, I would probably go with that. But yeah, that's you. YD student, did Mike manage to fix it? Just tuned in. Sadly not. No. We went through the process, but no. Do Wowie make fridges yet? I want a mobile phone on my fridge. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Mara says, I've heard that generally ASUS Dual cards have Coil Whine, most of the 6700. I'm not too sure. I've had a couple of 6600s. What else have I had? I've had 6600s. I think that's all I've had actually in the ASUS Dual. All I find with them is the fans fail. The fans are quite prone to breaking prematurely. Arnold G says, I think the cores used in those cards were made wrong, not enough inner glue. Yeah, I think that's probably likely. I use VSync to limit Coil Whine to the minimum. Yeah. Is the graphics cards going into, or is in a PC, which is going to be sold? And it's kind of, I have told the buyer, or the buyers rather, because it's on a listing, that there is Coil Whine coming from it. So they're fully prepared, or they're fully in the loop, or at least if they haven't read it, it's their fault. And like, some people won't notice it at all. Some people will be like, I can't live with that. If you're like a student living in noisy accommodation, or on your gaming with headphones on, etc., it's not going to be a problem at all. And if it's probably under a desk, kind of down next to you, it's not going to be a problem. But if you're sat, like your PC is here and you're here and your keyboard and mouse and you're on like a little cramped space and it's right next to you, it could become quite frustrating. Although saying that, when you're playing a game, you probably won't notice it because you'll be either listening to speakers, listening to the headset. That's the only time really it's going to struggle. Other than that, it's basically silent. So it's one of those things, I just wanted it to be as good as possible that I can for the money without going to crazy lengths. So yeah, I think this worked out okay. Anyway, I think that is going to wrap things up. If you've got any last minute questions, feel free to quickly put them in the chat now. And yeah, I will start trying to pack some of this nonsense away. That is always the downside of when we do this. It's like, oh God, now I've got to go through all this and put it all away. I was just saying to Kath actually earlier on that it's a real nose that I work on the Sundays in the shop. Otherwise, like, this would be great because I could just not have to worry, leave the house, leave this, close the door, go to bed, and figure it all out in the morning. But unfortunately, that is it. Rasher says, I texted the health and safety guy to ask what's the best way to lift the box, a heavy box. He said, he messaged me straight back. If you've been on a health and safety course, you'll understand that. Hayden says,
I got it.
Leave it for Kath to clean up. You have work tomorrow. I got no chance. No chance at all. Anyway. Get on and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ordering Deuces. Mike, have you tried DaVinci Resolve 20 yet? I am going to. My Adobe Premiere license runs out in June the 20th, I believe. So I will be looking at like a 400 quid renewal fee, or maybe jump to Resolve, which I don't know if I can. I need to start learning it and trying it now. I think it's much better than what it was. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, massive shout out to everyone for joining us tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. If you have, smash the like button. Massive shout out as well to everyone who has helped contribute and has given kind donations. It's massively appreciated, more than you'll ever know. And for those of you that are taking the time out of your day just to come and join us and leave a comment or anything, it's always excellent. We're super glad that you have. But I think that's going to wrap this one up. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next stream. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday morning bright and early with a new video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Speak to you later. I don't know if that even worked.